The plan is to build at least 72 houses on it. 60 of them are going to be executive houses and 12 of them are going to be social housing. They've been offered 8.5 million for the site, but if you think of 8.5 million, that is an absolute drop in the ocean to Middlesbrough Council. They don't need 8.5 million against a beautiful green site like this.
Do we need new houses?
We don't need any new houses. We've got more than enough houses in this area. If you look around, there's hundreds of houses for sale, apart from what they're building. They're building everywhere you can possibly think of.
We're already overdeveloped here, and this is our last green space. I've never opposed any other building on any other sites in the area since I've been a councillor here for 7 years, but this one is different. This one is wholly inappropriate. And to build 79 houses and what is this, maturing young woodland would, I think, be an environmental disaster. And it's against all the council's policies on things like global warming, low carbon emissions. It's ecocide, really.
It's an absolute disgrace. Middlesbrough Council are behaving like a dictatorial sort of attitude towards it. The money they're going to get for it is peanuts, and they're going to destroy a wonderful, wonderful green space area. And it's just unbelievable. The people of Marton West are telling Middlesbrough Council that they don't want this to happen. And Middlesbrough Council are just burying their heads in the sand and just taking no notice whatsoever.
The intransigence of this council is quite contemptible. I mean, they talk about this being part of a 20 years ago, that this was part of the Corbyn-Newham plan. It's not even Corbyn-Newham. 20 years ago, we didn't talk about environment and global warming. These people are just hell-bent on chopping trees down, destroying buildings and destroying the whole heritage of this area, and it's about time it was stopped.
Our house actually looks over this area. And we often see people walking the dogs and children playing here, and it just seems a lovely area. We've been there for nearly 12 years and seen the trees grow from little saplings, and everybody really loves the area, and it would just seem a shame for it to become another concrete landscape.
I think it's disgraceful myself, because this is where we take the dogs for a walk, and there's no other area around here to take them out.
Well, not only that, there's a family of deers that live here in these woods. There's so much wildlife, and there's not much open space as it is in Marton. It's just a lovely area to go walking your dogs.
It's where I come to escape. I live in a tiny little house like that, with a tiny little garden like that, and this is where I come for my escape. So I'm disappointed, really disappointed that this is happening.
I think it's a shame that it's one of the last natural areas of woodland that's actually going to disappear. My son, they come play over here, and I think it's a shame that they don't have anywhere else to go, really. What do you think of the plans to build houses?
No, because loads of animals live here. And
what have you seen?
I've seen a deer before.
Yeah.
Squirrels.
Those hills that you can see, I used to watch kids with spades spending hours digging that, and they built it exactly so they could have a cycle track, so they could cycle up and down. Yeah, that's why you don't see any graffiti or vandalism around here, because the kids, they're not going to destroy something that they've created themselves.
It's just a nice area for everybody, from all around Marton. Everybody can appreciate it.
You don't see any broken glass here, or the trees ripped down.
Not at all.
It's because it's an area where kids can create things themselves. And if they build on this area, in a couple of years' time, they'll have to spend thousands of pounds creating another area that they think children will like.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And it's an area like this. That's what they like, so they can play on it.
As a resident in the house, it's just immediately behind. I don't want to be living in a building site. I want to be able to look out my window and see the trees that I can currently see, not more houses. Secondly, I actually work down at the hospital, and it can take me nearly an hour just to get from here down there in the morning. I think more cars, I would imagine these houses, if they were built, would be lived in by professional people who would also be going down Marton Road every morning, making that journey even harder. And thirdly, from my daughter's perspective, she's 3 years old. I had the pleasure of being able to play in green open spaces when I was little, and I want my daughter to have that same opportunity as well.
The traffic situation as it exists now is absolutely horrendous. On a morning this can come to a standstill, on an evening this can come to a standstill. We've also got them building on Prisick Base and Hemlington Grange. Now on Prisick Base they're going to build over 300 houses. On Hemlington Grange they're going to build over 700 houses. Can you imagine what effect that's going to have on the traffic in the area and getting into town?
There are huge amounts of brownfield sites becoming available in Middlesbrough because of things like the school closures and the development of Middlehaven. And of course the population of Middlesbrough has dropped considerably over the last 30 years since this land was originally designated for development. One field with 79 houses is neither here nor there compared to enhancing the quality of life for everyone throughout South Middlesbrough. It's far more valuable as a community resource than it is as yet another building site.
What do you feel should happen to the site?
I think the site should just stay as it is. I think that the community would take it over. I think it would make a fantastic country park. The animals are already here. We've got so many other sites that are adjoining it that would make this country park available to everybody in Middlesbrough.
On Thursday, I'll be taking part in a call-in where I'll attempt to get the council to reverse its decision. The council's scrutiny process will be investigating the decision, and I'm hoping that they will issue a last-minute appeal to the council to save the Longridge woodland.